Here's what you missed. For the very first time, former heavyweight kickboxer and mixed martial arts champion Gary Goodridge, a.k.a. Big Daddy's in the house.
Big Daddy! You have to say it with the name. Big Daddy!
Yeah, I like that. He's in town to promote kickboxing, and there's going to be a tournament, an event on the 16th of December, folks, the day before the World Cup finals.
Yeah, at least we've got something to do with one of our evenings. Watch guys pound each other to a pulp.
Like he did in 14 years of a career. Big Daddy, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Let me ask you, like I've watched the kickboxing and regular boxing, and I feel like boxing, the rules are now changing where people can hold each other. It's become a bit not too physical. But kickboxing has maintained, like you pound a guy properly and take out your frustrations on him, so to speak. Are they limiting how you can, can I say fix somebody?
MMA is quite different. Kickboxing is, it all depends if it's straight kickboxing or Muay Thai. Muay Thai has a lot of leg kicks.
Okay.
Kickboxing is more upper body kicks, which Muay Thai encompasses both of them, but Muay Thai is more leg kicks, I believe.
How did you get into it, Gary?
I saw other people fighting on the UFC. I think UFC 3, and it looked like I wanted to do it. I said, hey, I can do this, so that's how I got into it.
All right. So so there's a difference between that and MMA. Mixed martial arts now involves kicks and punches.
That is MMA. The whole thing.
The whole thing is MMA.
Kickboxing is by itself. MMA or mixed martial arts is the same thing. It's hence MMA.
Oh. But we don't see a lot of kickboxing happening. It's because it graduated now into MMA, or now from layman's terms. Because I know back in the day you could watch kickboxing.
Yeah, in Kenya.
Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya what we know is kickboxing.
Okay.
We don't know what mixed martial art is, but at least they are trying to do like Greg came on with the thing Top Dog. The other side of Kayole, they are doing NFLE. So they are trying to make it, guys, to understand what is mixed martial art.
Okay, and who are you again, and tell us why you're here?
Me, I'm a Muay Thai fighter, which, and again, we understand it like a kickboxing thing, K1, which he does, he understand it also.
Okay.
So he is here. To teach guys mixed martial art, which is MMA, UFC.
Okay.
He's here to make guys understand what is MMA, what is mixed martial art, is here to make it more.
And what do you do? Do you do kickboxing?
Yeah, I do Muay Thai. I want to change into a mixed martial art.
Okay.
And the difference?
Because the difference is, with the kickboxing is only striking. With the MMA is you go down, you strike, you choke, submission and all down. They allow you to do that.
It's like a brawl fighting. It's like a proper fight.
And Big Daddy, what's that belt you're holding there with you? What is that?
That belt is I won that belt in 1996 in Brazil. IVC champion, International Vale Tudo champion. This is an 8-man tournament. This actually the first 8-man tournament I won in IVC. I love it.
How did you get into kickboxing? Muay Thai.
Again, I was doing Gujukai, like a karate thing. Then I heard there is something going on at Adams Circuit. So when I came in at Adams Circuit, I met Andre, the owner of Colosseum Gym.
Yes.
Then I asked if I can join. Then he said, okay, no worry, can join, but now you have to show me first. You have to prove something. He gave me some sparring with his guys. That time, I was not that good, but these guys was fighters. They was fighting abroad, coming back. So I got in. They kick the shit out of me. They beat me properly.
Proper.
Yeah, elbows, knees, like a fight. And that time used to be more like aggressive. Like if you're fighting, you're a fighter. Get in, fight. No sparring shit. Yeah. So let's go.
We can't use the word S word.
Sorry. For the fighter is okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
But used to say like, you guys, you're here to fight. Prove me you can fight, then I'll give you a chance. And I tried. They beat me up. I came the other day. Then it was like sparring. Afukuzai akwambii toka. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell Jeff. So they're like, you are here to fight. fight every day. That's how I became a champion. That's how I became one of the fighters.
Is there like a decent amount of money in the sport? What happens? Do you have like health insurance? Because like, man, you get knocked every day. How many hospitals?
From our thing, we used to have ambulances, fake ambulance and all, like the just ice and something there. But for the mixed martial art, is the legend. Is here to change. He can tell us. I mean,
Gary, why Kenya? Why did you pick Kenya?
I picked Kenya because I like Kenya. I like Kenya. I think this is an untapped market here, and I want to make it tappable.
But we have many countries in Africa. Like there's a Nigerian who's doing big in UFC.
Very big.
Yes, there's several African fighters that are actually doing very good.
Yeah.
Oh, but you just decided Kenya.
Yeah, I just started Kenya.
And then where next after Kenya?
I'm not certain yet. Whatever country asks us to come in there, and we'll go there and do some shows.
Yeah.
But I plan to encompass all of Africa.
Tell me something. Is there any promotion in this art? Are you getting any? Are you getting a good feedback from possible promoters? Or sponsors?
Absolutely we are, but we're still looking for sponsors for this show. Sponsors, investors. We're still looking for. We can always make it better. So there's never no. There's always a yes. So absolutely, we're looking for sponsors.
All right. And what are you doing to promote it? Do you have like a like the way you're scheduled for the 16th of December? Do you have like promotional fights, maybe, like at a hotel, at another place that, you get the buzz going?
Between now and then.
Yeah, because I'd really like, you said your name is?
Robert.
Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to watch you fight someone.
You're welcome that day. I mean, what we are planning to do, as we have a vice president here, Madam Jojo, she's planning on something, but she said first we need to do something big, at least the guys to know and fighters to come together and all. So I don't think we have a pre now. We just put 16th of December, and also with the budget, also with the sponsor is too much. I mean, if you put pre then fight is a bit too much. For her. I mean, she will just help with that 16th of December. Then coming next year, we'll start again. I mean, she has a plan on that. I mean.
All right. So she's the president of Kenya.
Vice president.
He's the president. She's the vice president.
Maybe you can talk to vice president.
Yeah, my name is Josephine Kuluo. I'm the vice president of AFC, which is the African Fighting Championship. We are trying to emulate what UFC is doing in the world. Right now it's the leading sport in terms of revenue and youth encompassment, and I'm in the security business as well. So we thought it wise to use sport and art to save our youth from crime, to give them an alternative and to give them a stage in the world. We hope to use whatever winners come out of AFC, the December fight, to market ourselves to the world and to give them probably trials in Dubai, Turkey, and at the world stage. So it's really a good opportunity for Kenyans, and we're calling upon them to join us. We're calling upon sponsors, and we want to start in December. Like Robert and Gary said, our base right now, we have 4 MMA gyms in Nairobi. We are working closely with them, and we are going into the slums to get talent, to sport talent there. It's our first fight in December, but we hope going into the future that will spread through the East African region.
Let me ask you, just mentioned slums, but don't you feel like also uptown, there's some people want to fight? Because, I feel like sometimes also when you put guys from the slum, who wants to come from uptown to watch guys from the slum? You know what I mean? Yeah, why don't you just target also guys who also they're just passionate about the game?
Yes.
And they can fight, because is there an MMA gym in the slum?
Slum, there is a great talent. Uptown, there is a great talent, Okay. But slums, sometimes they don't know what to do. They are being killed there. Wanaiba, they are doing some weird thing. They are being killed.
So it's more like empowerment.
They can use it, They can use it and say, this is what I want to put my food on the table, I mean, even me, I come from there, Kibra.
Okay.
Number 9, So
Yes.
I'm a role model to those guys.
Where's the furthest the highest you've fought? Like, besides Colosseum, have you gone out of the country?
I fought in Uganda, I fought in Tanzania, I fought in South Sudan, the upper. tunaita mabrownie.
Yeah, that's
upper-
the north, yeah?
Yeah. I fought South African here at Kasarani. I was sponsored by Safaricom. I think be your own boss.
And how did you do?
Of course, I'm the real champion.
let me Google. What's your name, young man? The Google is the only way I can prove.
Robert Nabatson, Manchui. Yeah.
Right.
Manchui.
Yeah,
itself.
Manchui.
So you also have rankings like lightweight all the way to super heavyweight.
Yes. I was fighting welterweight.
Welter.
I have a belt East and Central Africa, but now I want to forget about that belt and think about this belt. There is a belt, a nice belt here, world standard belt is here.
All right.
I want it. 16th of December.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for this belt.
And who's going to be there again? I mean, who are you going to be fighting against?
I'm fighting a guy from Uganda or South Africa or South Sudan, right? Yeah, but let's see.
It depends on who accepts
I'm
to
waiting
come.
for anyone who matching me.
Yes.
Then we can go.
You're
worries.
ready
Yeah.
for anyone.
Yeah.
Are you confident that this will take off? Because, it takes a while for sports like these to kick off around here.
Absolutely. It's all about promotions. It's all about promotion, how you push yourself. You have to thank people like yourself. This TV station for radio station for helping us here. My Twitter followers, thank you very much. Everything, you have to thank people and look at them as a help. People is a helping hand all the way.
And then much as you've come all the way from the States, what else have you observed in terms of potential in Africa? Now let's talk about Kenya, because you did the MMA and then you're also in arm wrestling. What is it that we are lacking and that can take kids to the next level?
What you're lacking here is just exactly what I'm about to do. World view, people to see us here. Once they see us and they recognize our talent, then we're here. But what I've seen here is raw talent. It's amazing. I love it. I go to the gym and watching the guys and feeding them knowledge on the outside Kenya. They feed them knowledge. Like, I'm from Canada and I go to the United States quite often. So feeding them knowledge that I know, watching them suck it in terms of sponge. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
You see the talent is there?
100%. The talent is there. I saw this guy fight and I'm like, wow, I got saw him roll. And I was very impressed with this young man. And I look for good things. There's good things because I'm going around also to the clubs locally and just watching them, giving a little helping hand, kind of giving a seminar for what to say to help. And plus, it's good. It's good to build confidence in people because once they because of what you just said, people from the outside will look on the inside, and people on the inside don't think they're as good as the outside. So to give them confidence and motivation to December 19th.
Yeah.
How long would you give someone who's physically fit, or someone like me? I know you've seen my protruding belly and all that. I can run at least 100 meters and pant for half an hour. So, how long on average would it take someone to, from being a novice to getting the basics of the rules to being able to showcase, like at least an exhibition bout, because I know you're on the professional level.
Yeah, I think we start with 3 minutes. 3 minutes fight for amateur. 3 minutes, 3 rounds, or 3 minutes, 4 rounds. But coming to mixed martial art, I think they have the rule. They will set the rule. They are working with the rules from, I don't know, maybe Madame Josephine will tell us about that.
Something must have motivated you to get into kickboxing, to get into mixed martial arts. What was that thing? Were you beaten up in the streets? Were you bullied? Or
The thing that when I was growing up in Trinidad, that's where I was born, I always looked at Muhammad Ali and wanted to follow his footsteps. And I thought it, I felt that I was destined to something. I didn't know what it was. Like I said, I looked at Muhammad Ali, and then I thought it was boxing. So I did boxing for a little bit, and then I decided, I realized I was allergic to it. My eyes started swelling when I finished boxing, and my lips started going like this. So I decided that how boxing ain't, I didn't want to be allergic no more.
Yeah.
So Then, Muhammad Ali just pushed me all the way mentally. I met him once. He came to one of my fights, and that was the proudest moment I ever had. Jumping off, and I won. Came out, and Las Vegas there, gave him the biggest hug. And he said only one thing to me, and I want to pre on the radio. You already gave him trouble for saying it, so I ain't going to say anything. I had a great time.
Yeah. Rumble in the Jungle. I remember that. Huh?
Yes.
Ali Boumaier.
Yes.
Ali Boumaier.
Yes, with George.
Yeah.
And then you've also gotten into arm wrestling. How big is that?
Arm wrestling is a sport that's always been growing. It's still growing. It's doing well. Actually, it's more busier today than it was yesterday in terms of when I was involved in it. From 15 to 30, it was still growing, but now it's grown quite a bit, and I like it. People are traveling every weekend to do it. Before, what I used to do was you'd pay $500 for a ticket flight for a flight. You'd pay another $200 for your stay for 5 days, and another $100 for eating, so you were up like $800 there. And when you won a plastic gold trophy. Whoa, that was everything.
So it wasn't worthwhile.
No, it wasn't worthwhile.
And now?
Yeah, now there's money into it. There's more prestige. There's something to make you feel. I don't know if there's that much money into it, but people are able to do that as a living now, because the plastic gold trophy wasn't cutting it back then.
What can be the plastic gold trophy?
And how good were you? How far did you
I
go?
was the world champion for.
You're like the Muhammad Ali of arm wrestling.
Yes, I was. I was world champion for many years. 11 years over. World champion, Canadian champion, North American champion. Nobody was able to beat me for years. There's so many things that you have to learn in order for MMA to be a good, well-rounded player. Yeah. Because when you fight somebody, you got to go to their strengths. When they have a strength, you got to try to stay away from it. You got to go to your strength. So if your both strengths match up the same, then you got to look for a weakness, a chink in his armor. Do you understand? So what I used to do when I used to fight, I used to send somebody with a video camera, or send somebody to watch my opponent train, because I know whatever he was training, that's what he was going to do to me. So I needed to have it up front what they're gonna do. Yeah. So then I have an idea of what this guy is good at, what he's gonna try to do. So then I can work the night before and trying to combat it. That's how I won. Did you guys see that 8-second knockout that I had?
Yeah,
UFC 8? Yeah. Now that's what I did with that fight. They saw him doing these things. That was my first fight ever. Besides fighting my sisters, that was my first fight. I used to get my butt kicked by fighting my sisters. Anyways, we sent people out, and he was doing the same thing, that fireman's carry. And so we came up with something to beat up in the night before, and boom, 6 hours later, he was doing the same thing to me. What we practiced for all night. So that's what you do. That people do that things. Even nowadays, they send people to your gym to watch you. Now, I don't know this really, but I know it. You have to. You must.
Yeah. So now, like on the 16th of December, what's the plan? Like, how many bouts? What time do you envision it starting, so that if someone's listening, they can jump on it?
We'll have about 10 bouts on the 16th. We'll be starting at about 7 p.m. in the evening. We have 2 bouts against for women. We want gender parity, and I, being a lady there, I'm ensuring that we have women represented. We have very good women fighters from Uganda, and I believe they'll give Kenya a run for their money. So I'm calling upon the Kenyan ladies to up their game. We have a lot of interest from Uganda and Rwanda and Tanzania, and even Southern Sudan and Congolese. And so we will try to match it up so that it's an East African event. Gary will be accompanied by other legends on the 16th, just to give Kenyans a good starting point. We are also trying to get the current African champion, Francis Nkanu, to grace our occasion. He recently had a surgery, but he has put us on notice that he may attend, and we are praying that he does, alongside Tom Erickson, Morris Smith, and Mark Coleman, who are all in the UFC Hall of Fame. They all want to impart knowledge on Kenyans. So we call upon all the youths to come up and support AFC. And hopefully from here we go on to the Middle East and Turkey with our fighters, our lucky fighters. Gary will give the man of the match a belt and probably some other motivation as to meeting or fighting in the world out there.
Gary, over to you. When is the first gym
Gonna open proper.
a proper MMA gym?
These questions are for when sponsors come in. When sponsors come in, they could sponsor that. But we are hoping to get it expediently, but you never know.
You just never know. Gary Goodrich, Big Daddy, Josephine, thank you so much. Good luck on December 16th. Robert, Muay Chai. Yeah, you have one more word to say?
Yeah, I'd like to say to everybody, if you want to get a hold of Josephine or myself in order to be recognized as a fighter, is go to Gary H. Goodrich at gmail.com. Gary H. Goodrich at my Twitter, as well as get a hold of Jojo. We're hoping to have a really good fight. Thank you, fellas. Say hi to my Twitter followers and everybody else. Come on down.